Hey friends, Frankie and Brad here in the kitchen where we cook music. Today Brad and I are going to chat a little bit about a subject that's well versed on the internet. Tone woods. Do tone woods exist? Is there a such a thing? Uh, Brad, what do you think?
I think that every guitar, and they're not made all by the same type of wood, but like when I had my Flying V made, it was made out of white ash. And the reason being, they told me that the harder the wood, the more sustain. Now, and that guitar was great for sustain, and it sounded kind of in between SG and a Les Paul. The Flying V was not as, I'm going to say, not as thick sounding as a Les Paul. You can, if you watch a concert, you can always hear a Les Paul.
Absolutely, it has the sound of itself.
And a good example is if you ever watch a Gary Moore video and the Les Paul sound he gets, and Eric Johnson and the Fender sound he gets are just planets apart. Just totally different, but they both sound really good.
In our day, it was considered fact that tone woods mattered. Today, that's not necessarily the case anymore. Many videos have been made on people just hooking a bridge on one end, the strings on the other, and a pickup in the middle, and it not changing the sound that the guitar, the pickups in the guitar. I don't know if that was a sales gimmick to upsell. I do know that they certainly got me early in, because when I buy a guitar, I look at the beauty of the woods, the texture, the flames, and that's a selling point with me. Does it make the guitar sound better? I don't know. You people out there, give us some comments. Dan Electro made a cardboard guitar. They called it Masonite, and they put wide white tape, looked like hospital tape, around the sides to keep it, to make it look better, and they glued it on there, and it was a thin sounding guitar, electric guitar with what do you call them, lipstick pickups.
Yes.
National made the plastic
guitar and the metal guitars.
Yeah, the steel guitars, they certainly are different.
And of course, there's so many different types of pickups that will greatly alter the sound of any guitar.
That's a fact. But just, I just thought about this. You have switched a pickup or two in a Les Paul, but it still sounds like a Les Paul.
It does. You're right.
I know your Bill Lawrence is a great pickup in your Gold Top. Is that in the Gold Top?
No, it's in my SG.
SG.
It went out, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, I got a Bill Lawrence. You can have it if you let me put it in." I loved it. I thought it sounded great.
That's a great pickup. And nuts. There's bone nuts, brass nuts, graphite, plastic. I think that the brass nuts give you better sustain if you've got a one-piece bridge and a brass nut. All of my Japanese guitars that are neck throughs, built in Fujijin and Matsumoto, they have sustain into tomorrow, and they all have solid bridges and brass nuts. People that are the purists are probably going to want bone nuts.
Yeah.
And a lot of the newer guitars are experimenting with new types of nuts, and they got roller nuts out now that are really considered nice. Bridges. one-piece bridge, two-piece bridge? Do they sound different? I don't know. Bridge blocks.
Blocks.
Blocks that are installed in the body uh, that you screw the bridge into, which gives you an extreme metal base underneath the bridge. They claim that they are tone, give you a different tone.
Yeah.
Picks.
Golly, there's so many. People use thin picks, thick picks, metal picks. I mean, they all give you a different sound. Between the picks and the pickups, I believe that's where
The different picks, you're going to have a different attack.
Yes.
Metal picks have a distinguishedly different sound. And they will also, in certain moisture environments, they will light you up. But I know a hard pick is going to have more attack than a soft. A thumb pick is going to add a totally different sound to your playing than using a flat pick.
flat, yeah.
Tortoiseshell picks, the old turtle picks that they used back in the day. Do the materials of the picks matter? Does that affect the tone? Does that affect the sound of the guitar? Paints.
Yeah, when I heard about this, being a painter myself, I know that they make paints that they claim will eliminate odors in your house. So I was not surprised when I heard that, was it the Japanese that did tone paints that they claim would create
they advertised tone paints in the late 50s, early 60s, claimed that these paints captured the tones of the woods in the guitars. Were all these things that we're talking about sales gimmicks, or were they suggested facts or suggested opinions? We'll never know. Cables.
A lot of people don't think about cables. They'll just run out and buy a $10 cable, and believe me, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
If you hear any noise in your cable, you need to upgrade.
The Megamis and Monster cables and some of the other more high-end cables that I can't afford, they're not just wires, they're twisted pairs. And when you twist a pair of wires, they get shorter. So in a 10-foot cable, you could end up with 30 foot of wire in a more expensive cable versus a cheaper cable, and that's one of the reasons the cost. You've got more copper wire in the cables. And
you've got a cleaner sound.
And back to paint, something that I just thought about is, does it matter if a guitar, is it going to affect the tone if that guitar is painted
or
a solid color, or if it's stained, just stained with oil, if it's just clear coated, if it's painted and clear coated? And then there's these historians that argue that gold top Les Pauls have different sounds than other Les Pauls because
well, you and I, we did 2 Les Pauls, and you and I both remarked how they both sounded different.
Oh yeah, your Les Paul, your gold top, holy Jesus, it's just day and night difference. And there's an age difference, and but I don't think either of them are chambered. I think they're both old enough that they haven't been chambered. But I don't know. Let us know what you think out there. We've talked about woods. We've talked about the thickness of woods. Do tone woods matter? The different types of woods, cardboard guitars, plastic guitars, carbon fiber guitars. They certainly have a unique sound. Pickups, nuts, bridges, bridge blocks, the picks we use, the paint versus stained. the cables, and then they're going through an amp and a PA, you know. And Brad, I think that all of these things combined have an effect.
Oh yeah, they
And
do.
I think if you change several of these things on a guitar, maybe not one, but if you change a couple of major items, it's going to affect the tone. Now, if you change pickups, it's going to affect everything. Uh, but let us know what you think, and as always, subscribe to our site, give us a thumbs up, and you have a great day.